It's brilliant. I think it's beautiful.
Good.
It's really, really great, and I think it's especially in a big city like London, where you have people from so many different backgrounds. I think it's important to kind of bring back the sense of community.
Definitely.
That sometimes is a bit lost. I mean, it's sometimes hard to keep when you have different codes and communications different and language barriers and history and experiences. So I think this is...
We sometimes ask in the service, we have a kind of little slot where we say, if you'd like to tell us, if you're visiting, if you'd like to tell us your name and where you're from, we'd be very glad to hear. Of course, some people don't want to, that's fine. But quite often on a Sunday, we'll have people from America, from different parts of the States, Australia. We had an amazing week the other week where we had somebody from Moscow, I think Kansas, two from Texas, actually, different parts of Texas, and they hadn't met each other. That was good. Greece and Lebanon.
Wow.
As well as Italy and France, and and we thought that was amazing. As people said, I'm from so and so, and I'm from so and so. We realised what an international congregation we had, and of course we're worshipping in English, but we hope that people will be able to join in the symbols of. Our worship are very recognisable. So we have a Eucharist service, communion service with bread and wine. You don't need to translate bread and wine. Everyone can see it. So that helps.
Universal.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's brilliant. What you were saying that you're trying to keep the church open. Is the church open pretty much any time? Like from what times is it that that
it opens every morning at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay.
And it shuts different times, but if there's no concert, then we shut at 7.
Okay.
But if there's a concert, we shut at 10.
Okay.
So we're open at least 11 or 12 hours a day.
Wow. Okay.
Every day.
Okay.
And then sometimes we're open, obviously, 13, 14 hours a day. And on Monday nights there is a program of talks, and they're not Christian talks. They're different types of spirituality, and we kind of again want to welcome people from other traditions, just to say what they have to offer. And some of the talks are fairly different from Christianity. But again, we're trying to say that's okay. We host it. We don't agree necessarily, but we will host this.
Okay.
And then Thursday, Friday and Saturday, nearly every week there is a concert.
Okay.
And there are 3 lunchtime concerts, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we have 6 concerts a week here, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And the standard of music is fantastic. And we have everything from Bach and Beethoven, Shostakovich to jazz. We're doing the London Jazz Festival later this year and again in 2012.
Okay.
So we'll have a whole few days of jazz concerts in the church, which is great.
That's brilliant. When is it starting again? Sorry.
I'll look it up. I can't remember exactly when it is.
Definitely,
but
that's great.
We've got a Beethoven festival and then a jazz festival. We're taking part in a London-wide jazz festival. That's brilliant. So we have lots of music here as well.
Yeah, so yes, I see.
Any day of the week, pretty much, you can come to a lunchtime concert. So on the anniversary of 9/11, just because it's just passed, we had a lunchtime concert of a Shostakovich piano trio, which is a really beautiful piece written. It was written during the Second World War. So it's all about suffering and war and so what we did was introduced it and then had the concert in memory of those who died in 9/11. But it was full. The church was full of people. We had 200, 250 people in the main part of the church, which was great. And we get a lot of people who come to concerts. So that's, I suppose what I'm saying is it's very peaceful, but it also is very lively. a lot is going on.
Lots going on.
With the market and the concerts, and we have a drop-in counselling service as well, which is a little caravan in the grounds of the church. And that is anyone can come at any time, again, without making an appointment to see a counsellor for an hour. So that's good too.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. This is. Yes, the sense of community there, although that's so important. That's great. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Also, if you can tell us a bit about the works that are being done in the. I see that there's. I cannot see it from now, but What are the actual works that are being done in there? Is it the roof that is being refurbished or changed?
Yes. So we're currently obviously trying to raise money for the restoration of the church. So it's a Christopher Wren church, as I said. It was consecrated in 1684. So it's really very precious and old building. And inside the building, if you look very carefully, you can see that the walls are peeling off, and the roof is discoloured, and there needs quite a lot of refurbishment work done on the inside of the church. On the Piccadilly side, it's very dirty with all the traffic, so we need to clean it. But we have replaced the roof already, which is really good. The roof has been replaced, so that's great.
Was that long ago, or?
That was, it wasn't long ago. It was just in 2010, I think. We finished it.
Okay. That's brilliant.
So that was really good, and that means that the next part of the project is to raise enough money to restore the interior of the church, because it was rebuilt after the war. It was bombed quite badly in the war in the 1940s, and so it was rebuilt in the 1950s. A lot of it is original Christopher Wren, but the Piccadilly side had to be significantly rebuilt. But nothing has been done since the 1950s, so we're now 60 years later, and the inside really needs work. How is the fundraising going? Yeah, very slow. But we'll get there. We'll get there. It's no problem. We'll get there. We need £1 million really to do the inside, and we need another £1 million or so to rebuild the organ, because we don't have an organ here, church organ, and that would be another phase of the project. But the inside, I think we've got about £150,000 so far. So we have a long way to go with that. But we will get there.
Definitely. That's great. Yeah. That's great. So the church, as you said, the church is open for anyone that wants to come in, sit down for 10 minutes, pray, or just meditate,
or join in a service, or come to a concert. Whatever is happening there, they can join in. Or the rest of the time, it's very peaceful. So we're really committed, and that's why we have staff. We pay a number of staff to work here, so that our finances are in good order, that we are able to do the administration. We have a full-time administrator for the weddings and baptisms and concerts and all the rest of it that happens. And we also have a team they're called vergers, and they're a brilliant team who look after the church itself, the building itself. And we make sure we pay enough vergers so that there is somebody on duty all the time, from 8 in the morning until 7 in the evening, which means we can keep the church open and people can come and enjoy it and be safe.
Definitely. That is brilliant. And how can people help your fundraising? I mean, is it by dropping a few coins in the church? Is there any other ways, or?
Yes, in the church there are lots of leaflets, and I think for people to come and see it themselves is important, so that they decide whether they want to support this or not. This historic building, and we feel confident that once they see the church itself and how beautiful it is and how beautiful it could be, that they will want to give us money. So if they're UK taxpayers, we would like them to donate and to gift aid their donation. If they wanted to give us pledge money regularly, there is also a leaflet to do that. So all of this is available in the church. Or of course they can drop a few coins in the collection box, but that isn't as helpful to us as a donation where we can claim the tax back, but that's only for UK taxpayers.
Okay, that's great advice. Thank you very much. Basically, that pretty much covers most of what I had. I saw that I think sometime next week there's an event called Moving Planet Day.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. That's an interesting. That's another thing that we do from time to time. So we have meetings and seminars and workshops where people will look at an issue that is affecting the world. So not necessarily a religious issue, but from a religious perspective. So this is on the environmental crisis in the world, and it's also looking at the system of it's looking very basically at the money system. So I was talking previously about the banking system, the financial crisis that we're in at the moment. And that it's quite a subtle thing to understand. It's a bit complex.
Yeah, it's complex.
So we want to be able to help people understand, so that they don't just say simplistic things or just assume that they know what it's about. So we also take education very seriously, and we want to be able to discuss these things. So Moving Planet Day is a day where churches and other faith groups, actually Muslims are very involved with this as well, across the country are holding seminars and workshops, and we're one of those people. And next year, in 2011, we will hold a meeting for all the candidates for the London Mayor. So the election is in May, and then in April, we don't have a date, but in April there will be a big meeting in the church for people of faith, different faiths, to come and question the candidates for London Mayor. So again, we want to be quite engaged with the reality of London, with the reality of what we're surrounded by, and not just be private and interior about it. It's very important to have peace in your heart and peace when you're sitting in a church, but you also, if your faith is alive, it's going to make you want to live differently, and to live just in a just way. So we think that means being engaged in the issues of the day. So, for example, we will hold this meeting in April, and a lot of the London church leaders will come, the bishops will come and question the candidates.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
that's
I hope
great.
so. Yeah,
it's great. It gives the community a chance to actually ask relevant questions and get answers. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Also, in terms of the church, what is the capacity? The full capacity of the church? Is it?
We've got a lovely gallery, as a lot of 17th and 18th century churches do. So if the gallery were full and downstairs were full, I think we can squeeze in 600 people.
Wow.
So sometimes for a very big wedding, or we had, for example, we had the funeral of of an artist whose name I'm now going to forget, Sebastian. Anyway, sorry, I can't.
Don't worry.
But we had a very big funeral in 2010 of an artist who was very popular, so it was full. And sometimes we have memorial services, or sometimes at Christmas it's full. But normally we have, you can seat maybe 300 people downstairs, and that's quite often. That is quite often full. Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
That is brilliant.
Although on a Sunday, as I said, we have about maybe 100 people.
Okay.
So you can have quite a small service there, and it feels nice, or you can have it packed, and then it feels really different. So, yeah.
How do you feel about the services? Is it every service is different? How does it change?
Every service is different in a way. Yeah, I mean, we have so many visitors here on a Sunday that, as I said, we have our core community who are very committed, and they kind of are very committed to the place itself. But because we always have visitors, it always is different.
Yes.
So sometimes when we all stand around the altar for the communion, it's something distinctive we do here. Everyone stands around, the whole congregation stands. And it's a bit like the Catholic Church, actually. We receive communion standing up, rather than Anglicans often receive it kneeling down. But we take the bread and the wine standing up. And quite often when we say the Lord's Prayer, we say Our Father, I can hear different languages being said. So people don't know it in English, but they know it in Spanish or whatever it is. So I can hear a little bit of Italian or French or something going on, which is really nice. That's really great.
That's brilliant.
I like that.
That's London for you.
It is. It really is London. Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, that pretty much covers all of my questions. I'm really happy to have had the chance to meet you. I'm really grateful, and thank you very much for your time. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place, and I think it's doing wonders for the community.
Oh, thank you very much.
So thank you very much for everything.
Thank you.